Have you ever stopped to think about how a single tiny letter can become a piece of art? Well, today, that's exactly what we're doing. We're going to dive into how the letter M gets transformed into this sacred symbol that carries so much emotional weight it can change the entire feeling of a word. Just listen to this for a second. Mijalan arkai arubase ar, which means mist begins the path between realms. There's this magic to it, right? And it's not just coming from the words themselves. Something else is going on here. See, there's a feeling in that phrase that goes way beyond just the definition. It's baked right into the artistry of the letters. So how on earth does a simple mark on a page create a whole atmosphere? That's the big question we're going to unpack together.
All right, so to really get the whole picture, we need to zoom way in on its most fascinating part. This first section is all about where copper meets mist, and we're going to isolate the one tiny detail that pretty much gives this entire poem its soul.
Okay, check out this next line from the same poem. The wind echoes memory into flame. Beautiful. Now I want you to really focus your eyes on that first word, marmir. See that elegant little squiggle floating above the final M? Yeah, that is what this is all about.
And here it is, all by itself. Just the consonant M with that strange, beautiful mark kind of crowning it. It looks so small, doesn't it? But trust me, this single, very deliberate piece of design is the absolute key to unlocking the poem's deeper, more spiritual meaning.
Now this thing isn't just some random squiggle. Oh no, it has a name, and it's an amazing one. So let's get into it in section 2, the flame wisp tilde. So what is it officially? It's a custom diacritic, a mark added to a letter, and it's used in the constructed language of Reka Arkanai. Its whole job is to give the letter M this really special quality, one that's nasal, resonant, and deeply spiritual. It doesn't just change the sound, it literally elevates the feeling of the letter itself.
Now this idea of a mark changing a letter might sound kind of familiar. Think about the letter ñ in Spanish. That little wave on top, the tilde, completely changes how you say the N. The flame wisp tilde does something pretty similar for the letter M, but, and this is a big but, with a huge artistic difference. Just look at its shape. It's designed not just to tweak a sound, but to literally infuse the letter with a specific feeling.
And the intention behind the design is just gorgeous. It's described as a flowing wave turning into flame. I mean, that's poetry right there. It's so visually unique. You can see it in a word like mala, which means wind blessing. The symbol literally looks like the feeling it's trying to get across. How cool is that?
But great art isn't just chaos, it has structure. And this beautiful little symbol is no exception. It follows a really strict set of rules, which brings us perfectly to our next section, the rules of sacred sound. So this symbol isn't just thrown around randomly. It follows 4 sacred rules. First off, it is only ever used above the letter M. That's it. Second, you will never see it at the start of a word. Third, it adds that soft, spiritually heavy sound we've been talking about. And finally, number 4, while it can hang out next to other marks on vowels, the M itself is its own sacred space. No other marks can be stacked on top of it. Okay, let's see these rules in a more complex example. The English phrase murmur the flame's truth turns into this beautiful, intricate string of characters. Now look really closely at that very first word, mu-ra.
And there you have it, a perfect example of those rules in action. The flame wisp tilde is on an M, and it shows up mid-word, not at the beginning. It's this kind of thoughtful consistency that really helps build a believable, artistic world of language. It just works. So, we've seen the symbol pop up in words and phrases, but how does it work when it's integrated into something bigger, something like a name? Let's take a look.
Whoa, just look at that. This is the name Yara Havzalawa, fully decked out in its sacred form. It looks incredibly complex, right? But now that we actually understand the flame wisp tilde, we've already got a key to start decoding its meaning.
So let's break down the symbols in this name real quick. That little hat on the Y, that's a tidal peak, and it signifies sacred elevation. The bars under the double consonants are link bars, showing a paired identity. And then right there at the end is our friend, the flame wisp tilde, adding that final, crucial layer of spiritual resonance.
So it's not just one symbol, it's 3 unique marks, all working together, in concert. Each one adds its own layer of meaning, but it's our flame wisp tilde that gives the name that soulful, resonant finish.
The result of them all together is, well, it's stunning.
And that brings us to our final section, the soul of a symbol. Think about it. We started with this mysterious, beautiful line of poetry, we broke down its key element, we learned its rules, and we saw it in action. We've gone from a place of mystery to a place of real understanding.
And now, we can go back to the poem and look at its incredibly powerful final line. Remember me, many, endless, unbound. Look at that word, melassen. When you see that flameless tilde now, you don't just see a mark. You feel it. You feel that spiritual resonance, that echo of memory that the artist intended all along. We can appreciate this on a whole new level now.
So what's the big picture here? What does this one tiny symbol really teach us? Well, it shows us that a symbol can carry real emotion, real history. It proves that when design is deliberate and artistic, it creates so much deeper meaning. It teaches us that rules and artistry aren't enemies, they're actually partners. And maybe most importantly, that even the smallest, most subtle mark can tell a huge and beautiful story. Which leaves me with one final thought for you. If you could create a brand new symbol for our language, just a single mark to add to a letter, what feeling would you want it to contain? What piece of your world would you want to capture in just a single flowing line? Something to think about. Thanks for diving into this with me.